So very warm welcome to all of you to this very prestigious and very important retrospective of R.M. Palaniappan. At Dakshinachitra, we are delighted, we are privileged, we are excited, of course, and also very enchanted and engaged with all his art. So we are super excited about this, and we're also very happy that it's not just at the Varija gallery. The exhibition extends to another gallery, the Kadambari Gallery. So we've been working on this for a few months, I think almost till the last minute. But we're very excited because it really presents such a wonderful journey of this absolutely important artist, national and international artist of R.M. Palaniappan. So we're very glad, we're very thankful to Mr. Gopal for having accepted, to Ms. Geeta Doctor, and to Sadanand for all his help, and for so many of the young artists who came yesterday, and to Sharan Apparao for so much of the support that she's given us for this exhibition, and a lot of young artists who came. I think we had a whole, like it was a festival feeling yesterday when we were putting up the exhibition. So it's a very special feeling that we hope to have with every exhibition. They say it takes a village to grow, to bring up a child, but it takes a village to put up a retrospective. So thank you all. The list is too long to name, but thank you each one of you for all your help. I'll now give the mic to Mr. Palaniappan, who will say a few words, and Geeta Doctor, and finally we have Dr. Gopal.
Dear friends, Gopal Krishnan sir, sir, I'm so vanakkam, I mean, Geeta Doctor I know very well again, and she wrote about, I know, I don't want to say, because she wrote about me, so many times, and very, very large articles, and she knows my work from the beginning. I'm so happy you are here, you agreed our invitation, you came for the changes, and
I invite Debbie to, after you.
Yeah.
I shouldn't interrupt Palaniappan. I just wanted to say that we're very indebted to Palaniappan. He's really we've been working with him for many, many, many years, and we're so happy that he finally agreed to have his retrospective here. We think it's quite an honor that it comes here, and I hope it goes all over India, and I hope he certainly gets all the accolades that he needs. It's such a rich journey and such a rich exhibition that shows all the effort and all the imagination and all his talent that he's put in for all these years. Thank you so much, Palaniappan.
Thank you, Debbie. May I request Ms. Geeta Doctor to felicitate the artist?
Well, I will try to be brief. It's very difficult because I have known Palaniappan forever. And I really think it's an amazing thing that he should have a retrospective at Dakshinachitra, because two of them, Deborah Tyagarajan and Palaniappan, share a common heritage. That is the famous Chettinad heritage. And if I might divert a little from the exhibition itself, I would like to say that Deborah Tyagarajan actually put Chettinad on the map, because when she started in the 60s, Chettinad seemed to be fading away from memory. The glory days had gone. And she was one of those people who said, let's not leave it, let's try and preserve it. And as all of you might know, the first building here is the Chettinad House. And the reason I link it up with Palaniappan is a lot of his work depends on the steps he's taken during his journeys, the many journeys. What you see here are actually his steps. And I remember Deborah saying that when she started here at Dakshinachitra, it's impossible to imagine what an empty space it was. It was just not a wasteland, but definitely a sandy land. And she went around with Laurie Baker, the famous architect, and he kind of imagined this place step by step. And just like the steps you see in Palaniappan's work, which traces his journeys, the journeys that Deborah and Laurie Baker and all the other artists, all of you who are here, have created is what we see around. So today, I would like to say that let us also honor Deborah Tyagarajan's vision. Because Chettinad has started to live again. It's been rediscovered, and it's now become another place full of the arts. So I do hope, Palaniappan, that even though it's wonderful to see your work here, and also to see your journey, which I call it the river of life of Palaniappan, I hope you will also go to your home place, Chettinad, and have an exhibition there.
Okay.
Because I think that's important. If I might just add one more thing, I always think of Palaniappan as an artist who's also a mathematician, because there is a lot of mathematical impulses in what he's created, especially when he started off in the 1960s and 70s. It was a great age of adventure for all of us. The second generation of artists, I know a lot of you are sitting there, who came after the discovery of Indian nests, then they discovered the world. And the world is what you see in Palaniappan's work and all the work of all the artists here. So I would like to celebrate that and see that the next generation of the artists who are here and the writers, the next place is the Mars, it's space. And these areas, the Earth, the world and space, is also what you see in the dreams that Palaniappan has imagined. I would also finally like to say that behind Palaniappan, there was this wonderful wife of his, Shivagami. And I miss her today because she was there always for him. Thank you for calling me here. It's my pleasure and my joy.
I request Mr. Sanyanand to say a few words. Please, please.
Who have known Palaniappan for so many years and have seen the way his work has grown and has flown and has become internationally recognized as a landmark of modernism from India. And for the last at least 18 years, Palani has been chasing me to write a catalog text for him. And I've been saying, no, I can't do it. It's completely beyond me. I don't have the words for it. I don't have the insight for it, etc., etc. But this time when he said, look, this is a retrospective and I want you to look at the collective process and so on, I said, okay, let me give it a shot. And something that came to my mind, which I've not written in the essay, but I'd like to share, is that when I first came to Madras to study in Loyola College for my undergraduation, I used to catch a train from Guindy to go to Nungambakam. And at the Guindy station, outside Guindy station, on the platform, there used to be a guy who used to sell old books. And they were not necessarily old books. They were old, new, all mixed up, but each one was available for 1 rupee. So I picked up during that time a book by a man whose name I don't know how many in the younger generation will recognize, but he's called Eric von Daniken. And the book is called The Chariots of the Gods. And it's an extraordinary book, which extraordinary for 2 reasons. The first reason is that it completely demolishes the idea of Darwinian evolution. It completely demolishes the religious idea of Adam and Eve and so on and so forth. It proposes the idea that human beings on earth became Homo sapiens, became human, when people from alien planets came and seeded the Neanderthals here. And they came in spaceships and they came in rockets, and they left with the promise that they'd return, which is why in Egypt the pharaohs built pyramids, and in Mexico they built pyramids, and Machu Picchu they built pyramids, and so on and so forth. So this promise of return was always there. Now what is extraordinary about this book was that it showed several pictorial examples of an evidence of aliens having come to earth, including from the Gita, from many Sattanavasal carvings, and across the world, from Brazil to Mexico to Indonesia to you name it, from everywhere. Examples, pictorial examples were there. And many of those examples, if you look at those photographs today, they look like Palaniappan paintings. Because you see a huge terrain, and then there are lines on it, and there are dots on it, and there are crosses on it, and these are like an alien spaceship if it's floating up above us. Just like in an airport, you need the landing lights and the straight lines and all that by which to land. The alien spaceship needs a certain kind of marking, and these are supposed to be those markings. The second remarkable thing about the work was that Erich von Däniken was discovered to be a fraud. And he was arrested 15 years later and put in jail for cheating people. But this theory was so fascinating. I spread it in my college. All my friends and colleagues and classmates became great votaries of it, and so on. So what I take from that is this a very interesting insight into the human mind, which constantly seems to need a new perspective. We are all stuck in a 17th century, what's called perspectivalism, created by developments in science in Europe, particularly by Descartes, and the idea of the Cartesian perspective and so on, where the subject is everything. Everything else is object. You are not people. This is not a building. These are all objects. I am the main person. It's highly self-centric, egocentric, anthropocentric. Whereas the idea that when you go above the earth and look from there, there is no direction, there is no north, south, east, west, there is no up and down, everything is the same. Space becomes the same. And therefore, the whole idea of perspective changes. And I simply have no idea how Palaniappan cottoned on to this after having seen a few World War II war films and seen the aerial fights that were reconstructed on Fall of Berlin, the famous Russian film. And then went on to challenge this, what I would call conventional positivist perspectivalism, and take you onto a higher plane from where you humanize. You're looking at the world not anymore as a conqueror. The Cartesian perspectivalism, as enunciated by Descartes, led to many instruments. It led to the camera, it led to the telescope, it led to the gun, etc., and eventually led to a political thing called colonialism. Whereas I think what Palani's work has suggested to me for quite some time is this complete evacuation from that politics and to reach a space from where everything becomes humanized. And for me, that is a very valuable contribution Palani has made in the world of art, in the world of thinking. When you talk to him, he struggles to put English sentences together, but all these ideas are locked in him, and it comes out in a flow. It gushes out. And in the catalog, there is a long interview that Vaishnavi Ramanathan has done with him, which in fact elaborates on many of these things in a very interesting way. So I'm very happy that this retrospective has happened, where you can get to see different juxtapositions, where you can see early work juxtaposed with a middle phase, juxtaposed with a contemporary immediate phase, and so on. So you see that at a certain continuity of line. This line is a famous thing in the, what do you call it, the Madras school. Everybody talks about the line. If I were to say it in Bombaya Hindi, I'd say, bahut line marta hai. Lines, lines, lines all over. But these lines have life because he enables light to capture them. They become sculptural as they go along. And you see the product of that right there, where a photographer friend is saying that beautiful positive negative space. It opens out, the line comes into its own. It's like looking into Akasha. It's like seeing a Jain monument of the god as void, the supreme as the void, etc., etc. So I'm very impressed with the way Palani has completely on his own taken over, and like, as Gita said, there's a certain mathematical working in his mind, which is adding to all this a very scientific perspective. He grew up in a small town called Devakote, where his grandfather dealt with religious material, which was sent to Saigon. He was called Saigon Ramanathan. His father had a printing press which printed calendar art, what we know as calendar art, all these glossy pictures of Ganeshas and Lakshmis and Parvatis and MGRs and Jayalalitas and landscapes and Murphy babies and but all that what we call popular kitsch calendar art. And that was his influence. Till the age of 14 or 15, he was seeing 300 such images every year, which were coming to the printing press for sample. Yet, that was not what influenced him. What influenced him was the scientific methodology of printing, the cutting marks, the edge marks, the trimming marks, the fold marks, and so on and so on. Very, very interesting, how do you say, the way the optic zooming happens into something completely out of the kernel of that content of the calendar. And so you can see it very early in life, at the age of 15, 16, already the abstraction is forming in his mind, and it's now manifest in this absolutely vivid way. And I'm very glad that, Palani, congratulations for what you've done. And I want to repeat what Anita said, what the community of artists, the kind of solidarity they showed yesterday, Aparajitan and other group of young people who came and helped set up this whole thing at a critical time when certain schedules were not working out. But in something like 6-7 hours flat, everything was up and done. It's a miracle. I'm very glad that this solidarity is now beginning to show in Chennai. Otherwise, Chennai has had this habit of artists working in silos, one group here, one group there, one group there. I will not talk to them and all that sort of thing. So this opening out and this coming together is really a momentous occasion enabled by Palani, your exhibition. And I wish you all the best, and thank you very much.
It now gives me great pleasure to ask our chief guest, Dr. Gopal Gandhi, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation given to us. My wife and I are honored, Devi, to be in Dakshinachitra again. This place is a place of sheer wonderment. Delimitation may shrink the southern peninsula demographically, but Dakshinachitra has expanded an unlimitation of South India's great culture, its dynamics, and its immortality. We have to thank you, Debbie, for having made Dakshinachitra give India a sense of its southern treasure. And today, as Sadanand has told us so beautifully and so extensively, and Geeta Doctor has, by her invocation of mathematics, said so precisely, we are here to celebrate the work of a craftsman, artist, printmaker, architect, and above all a visualizer of what? Of something which Tamil has a word for. Tamil has many words which can't be translated without getting completely lost in translation. But there is one Tamil word which completely captures Palaniappan says world, and that is alavu, alavu, measure, the right measure, the right proportion, the right balance. Every line of his is about proportion, about measure. In times when the shout has drowned speech, when noise has smothered music, and when the overdone bouquet strangulates the lucence of the single lotus, Palaniappan sir tells us that there is something called the aristocracy of the austere, the exclusivity of the frugal, and the truth of the simple. Palaniappan sir, we are proud of you, we celebrate you, and we thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Palkrishna Gandhi, for invoking the idea of the Alava. It's so beautiful and wonderful.
It is a wonderful time for me. I mean, because being an artist, exhibiting at my retrospective, it is not, all of a sudden it didn't happen actually, because I was working continuously in the Lalit Kala for many years. I put my morning hours, fully with administration. And people don't know, how I extended my time. I extended my time in the night actually. I do work up to in the late night actually. And I never, I'm very honest to when I was there in the administration, very honest to that. I spent a lot of time only in the administration, means administration focus was focus. And I extended my time in the night so that I produced. But luckily, good galleries were supported me. So I used to send it, they supported me. And it went to many exhibitions, and people recognized. My first exhibition, it was a second exhibition, it was there in Delhi. Art Heritage Al-Qazi has exhibited my works. That's what I know to the country actually. And they collected my work time to time, more than 78 works, but it's a fantastic works of those period in early works. So what Sadanand told the same thing, and I asked him for many years, my write-up, because I like his write-up. And he said, no, Palaniappan, it's very difficult. No, then you postpone, it has happened. Then the reason is my work was more philosophical, and more than a philosophical, I bring that psychology as part of it again. For me, the painting, what you are seeing, it is not that important. What it happens inside you, that is a very important. Still, I'm telling you again. See, all these things happening, I'm not talking about my painting. I'm talking about only one thing. Many things, it's every time, whenever I'm doing going very nearer to the perfection, something is going wrong actually. And error, always some error actually. Why this error is happening, I don't know. Yesterday also, there was, up to 10:30, up to 2 o'clock, I was not here actually. Every work was lying here. And I was doing a designing work. Nothing is happening because something is missing in that, paper. I don't know why it is happening. Always I'm putting this question. Then, one real thing is, the error is the default of the every action actually. The whole universe is getting expanded from the silent to this, and multiple universe, everything it comes because of the error actually. Error is important. If error is not happening, we cannot see anything actually. That is what, in my lifetime, I learned yesterday, clearly yesterday, this error is part of it. The same thing he pronounced, because this exhibition united the Madras artists together. Again, maybe it's plate or maybe something. It is coming. It comes together. It goes. Thank you very much. I like your observation. I'm giving my thanks to all the people. First, my thanks to Debbie, because it was this exhibition supposed to be there in Bombay, and Anupam Mehta, one of the first editor of the Art India magazine, has proposed my exhibition in the National Gallery, and somewhat, they gave us 3 galleries, 3 floors. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because I postponed 3-4 times. Then 3 years I also postponed. Every time in the meeting, and I was a board member. The why I postponed, because I was a board member, I'm a trustee. When she was asking all the time, I feel it's ugly, because I don't want to take a single pie from my organization where I was working. So when she was asking, I felt very sorry about it. So I postponed. I didn't tell. This is the first time I'm telling you, ma'am. And then I decided it's okay, we can have it. Then I had it this one. And because of this exhibition happened because of you, otherwise you initiated now, here.
All the time.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, sir, Gopal Krishna Gandhi, because, he came to my Lalit class program 3-4 times. Whenever I'm inviting him, he came, and then later I was the advisor to the Kalakshetra also. That time he was the chairperson. So I'm so happy you are here and you agreed accepted our invitation. You came down to inaugurate this show. Thank you very much. And Geeta Doctor, I don't want to say, because she is like my family friend actually, and my wife was very fond of her actually. She is very good and very thankful to you. And I'm very thankful to Sadanand Menon, because his write-up is wonderful. I mean, people have to read it. But unfortunately, yesterday the whole my effort was meant to that, I wanted to bring that book, without failure. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but it was a fantastic writing. Once it is published, within 2 or 3 days it will come. And it is a very beautiful writings. I mean, very, very analytical write-ups. I'm very thankful to Sadanand. And I'm very thankful to especially Anita, who put up this exhibition here on behalf of the Dakshinachitra. Also the whole team. They wonderfully work. All my artist friends, last minute, they came voluntarily, they helped me to put up the shows. The whole show was very, within 6 hours, really it's 6 hours to put up the shows. I'm very thankful to everyone, and to my family, my daughter, my son-in-law also worked. He's in the other business. He also worked yesterday completely. Very thankful to you all people. One thing is missing is I didn't thank to my collectors, who gave that work also to this exhibition. 4 collectors has given that collection. Sharan Apparao has given 5-6 works, and Art Heritage, they have sent their on their own. They sent their materials, 5 artworks, and Dr. Shruti Tandon also gave 5 works from 6-7 works from her collection. Without their collections, SEMA Art Gallery, Center for International Modern Art, they also sent that 1 work. One of the very important works what they have. I'm very thankful to all the collectors also, and they voluntarily helped me. Very thankful to Anupa. You come. You come. This is Anupa Mehta. She only that initiated the 3-4 people in this Indian art. They initiated, and one is this, and another one is Suresh Jairam, and then B. Ramesh. All these people, whenever they are meeting me, they always pushing me, Palaniappan, you should have a retrospective. Having a retrospective is not easy, or it is not the simple thing. I don't have any stuff also much. But why the people are telling me? Then only I started realizing. Okay, then I started collecting all my works, putting it together. Very thankful to everybody.
Thank you all.